When I married Emily, I truly believed our love was unshakable. She wasn't just my wife, she was my best friend, my safe place, and my biggest supporter. We had met back in college, two young dreamers sitting in a crowded library, studying late into the night. What began as small conversations over coffee turned into a love story that felt like it could conquer anything. Through exams, part-time jobs, and the endless chaos of growing up, she was always there. Emily had this way of making life feel lighter. Her laughter could erase the heaviest of days, and her belief in me pushed me through challenges I didn't think I could overcome. When we finally got married, I thought, this is it. This is forever. We built our home together, filled it with little traditions and countless memories. Whether it was cooking late-night pasta after long work days or simply sitting in silence with her head on my shoulder, I felt whole. For years, she was my reason for everything. My reason to work harder, to dream bigger, to believe that love could really be the answer to life's chaos. I trusted her more than I trusted myself. But what I didn't know, what I couldn't see coming, was that love isn't destroyed by distance or busy schedules. It's destroyed by small cracks that grow silently until one day the foundation you thought was unbreakable begins to crumble. It started slowly, almost too quietly for me to notice. At first, it was just a new name slipping into Emily's conversations. Ryan, her colleague from work. She mentioned him casually, how he was funny, how he made the long office hours easier, how he always had a solution when projects got tough. I wanted to believe it was nothing. I told myself not to be the jealous husband, not to read too much into simple stories about a coworker. After all, Emily and I had built years of trust. But trust can become blind, and mine was beginning to lose its sight. At dinner, her phone would buzz and her lips would curve into a smile, one I hadn't seen directed at me in a long time. I'd ask who it was, and she'd wave it off. Just Ryan about the project. Her laughter rang differently when she spoke of him, lighter and more alive than the quiet smiles she gave me. Nights grew colder. She used to curl against me, her warmth melting away the day's stress. But now, when I reached for her hand, she'd gently pull away. "I'm tired," she'd whisper, turning to the other side of the bed. And as I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her phone would glow again, always with his name. I tried harder. Flowers after work, surprise takeout from her favorite restaurant, little notes on the fridge. But instead of pulling her closer, it felt like each gesture pushed her further away. The unease in my chest grew heavier with each passing day. My mind whispered truths I wasn't ready to face. Emily's heart was no longer fully mine. It was drifting toward Ryan. One Saturday morning, I woke up with a plan. I thought, maybe, just maybe, I could pull us back together. I wanted to remind Emily of who we were, of what we still had. "Let's get away for the weekend," I suggested over breakfast. "Just the two of us. Somewhere quiet, no phones, no work, no distractions. Just us." For a second, I thought I saw her old self flicker in her eyes, the Emily I used to know. But just as quickly, the light dimmed. She set her coffee mug down and said, almost rehearsed, "Actually, Ryan and I are traveling for a work conference this weekend. It'll be good for the project if we go together." Her words didn't sound like an explanation. They sounded like a wall being built between us. My chest tightened as I stared at her, waiting for her to laugh, to tell me it was just business. But she didn't. Instead, she avoided my gaze and walked into the bedroom to pack her bag. I followed, my heart pounding. Watching her fold her clothes neatly into the suitcase felt surreal, like I was witnessing the end of something I couldn't stop. "Emily," I whispered, my voice shaking, "are you choosing him over me?" She froze for a moment, her back still to me. Then, without turning around, she said quietly, "I don't know." 3 words. Just 3 words, and yet they shattered everything inside me. I had offered her a lifeline back to us, and she had chosen uncertainty. She had chosen him. That was the moment I knew. The woman I loved was slipping away, and I couldn't hold on any longer.
The suitcase lay open on the bed, half filled with the life we had built together. I stood there, numb, watching her pack as if she were preparing for something ordinary, something harmless. But it wasn't harmless. It was breaking me, piece by piece. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. My voice cracked the silence. "Emily, are you really choosing him over me?" Her hands froze. For a moment, the room felt like it stopped breathing. She didn't turn to face me. Instead, she kept folding her clothes, her shoulders tense. Then, so softly I almost missed it, she whispered, "I don't know. He understands me in ways you don't anymore." The words sliced through me sharper than any blade. My wife, the woman I had trusted with every part of me, was admitting that another man filled the spaces where I once belonged. I wanted to scream, to beg, to shake her out of whatever spell she was under, but instead, something inside me shifted. A calmness I didn't recognize spread through my chest. When she finally turned, suitcase in hand, our eyes met. She must have expected me to cry, to plead, to fight for her, but I didn't. My voice was steady, though my heart was in pieces. "Then you've already made your choice, and so have I. Go to him, Emily, but don't come back." Her face crumbled, shock flashing across her features. She reached out, her hand trembling. "Wait, don't say that. I just need time to figure things out." I shook my head. "No, you don't need time. You had love, a marriage, a man who gave you everything, and instead of working on us, you gave your heart to someone else. That's not confusion. That's betrayal." Her lips parted, but no words came. The silence between us was heavier than anything she could have said. And then she turned. She rolled her suitcase out the door, leaving me with nothing but the echo of choices neither of us could undo. The house felt different the moment the door clicked shut behind her. It wasn't just quiet, it was hollow, like the very walls knew she was gone. I sank onto the couch, staring at the door she had walked through only moments ago. My chest felt heavy, my hands shaking as though they were holding the weight of every broken promise. The silence pressed against me, louder than any argument we'd ever had. No laughter echoing from the kitchen, no soft humming while she cooked, no footsteps moving from room to room, just emptiness. I tried to distract myself, turned on the TV, scrolled aimlessly on my phone, but every corner of the house whispered her name. The couch still carried her scent, her mug sat half-finished on the table. The bed was cold on her side, but the pillow still held the shape of her head. Memories began to replay like cruel home movies. The late-night drives, the silly selfies, the nights we promised each other forever. Each one cut deeper, reminding me of what I had lost. And yet, beneath the ache, a strange realization began to form. This wasn't just her choice, it was mine too. I could let this pain define me, or I could learn to stand without her. It hurt. God, it hurt more than I thought anything could, but in that suffocating silence, a small voice inside me whispered the truth. Sometimes love isn't about holding on. Sometimes it's about learning how to let go. It had been a week since Emily walked out with her suitcase. Each day dragged on like an eternity. A blur of work, empty meals, and long nights staring at the ceiling. I thought I had cried out everything inside me, but the ache stayed. Silent, relentless. Then, one evening, a knock echoed at the door. When I opened it, there she was, Emily. But not the confident woman who left me behind. This version of her was different. Her eyes red and swollen, her shoulders hunched, her face pale, as if the life had been drained out of her. "Mark," she whispered, her voice trembling, I made a mistake." Tears filled her eyes as she stepped inside. Words poured out of her like a flood she could no longer hold back. She confessed that Ryan wasn't who she thought he was. The connection she chased was nothing more than shallow excitement, a temporary thrill. He wasn't a partner, wasn't a soulmate, just a man who made her feel noticed while she forgot the one who had truly loved her. She broke down completely, sobbing into her hands. "Please, please forgive me. Let me come back. Let me fix this. I swear I'll make it right. I'll fight for us this time." Her pain was real. I could see it, feel it. And yet, something inside me had changed the night she left. I looked at her, my heart still aching, but steadier than before. "Emily," I said softly, "you taught me something. Love can survive distance. It can survive stress. It can even survive mistakes. But it cannot survive being second choice." Her sobs grew louder, her hands clutching at me as though I was her last lifeline. But I didn't move, because I knew, deep down, the man she once loved was gone, the man who would have begged her to stay. And in his place stood someone new, someone who finally knew his worth.
Emily's tears fell onto the floor between us, each one a reminder of the life we had shared and the line she had crossed. A part of me wanted to reach out, to pull her close and erase everything that had happened. But the larger part, the part that had stayed awake night after night replaying her betrayal, knew I couldn't. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. "Emily," I said, my voice calm but firm, "I loved you with everything I had. But the moment you looked at me and said you didn't know if I was enough, something inside me broke." She shook her head, desperate, clinging to hope. "Please, don't do this. I'll change. I'll prove myself to you." I gently stepped back, creating the distance she had created long ago. "No. Love shouldn't have to be proven. It should be chosen. Every single day. And you didn't choose me." Her face crumbled, her sobs echoing in the quiet room. She turned slowly, her shoulders slumped under the weight of regret, and walked out. This time, I didn't stop her. For the first time since she left, I felt something I hadn't expected. Peace. As I closed the door behind her, the silence felt different this time. Not heavy, not suffocating, just peaceful. My heart was broken, yes, but it was also free. Because love is about choice, and the greatest choice I made that night was finally choosing myself. Moral: love can survive many storms, but it can never survive being someone's second option. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and tell me in the comments, would you take them back after betrayal or walk away like I did?